Alright, so this time I'm going to review Nightmaremaker8 because he was having a little bit of trouble with getting into some of this stuff, resulting in him turning into some kind of sketchy money-making methods, so I was just going to help him out here a little bit. Currently has a 600 mil net worth. That's not terrible for where you're at, but that can definitely, there's a lot of things you can do to definitely get that up. You have not done anything in the Rift yet. Recommend getting into the Rift. I'll put video guide link in the description. It's really good, it's really helpful. At times it can be a little difficult to understand and it's kind of long, but it's very, very helpful. Not just for money, but also XP, and that can definitely get you up a lot. And then some other things, like I definitely recommend getting your craft minions up. And then dungeons, that's really up to you. That really depends on what you want to go for. You have mining 40, which is really good. So I definitely recommend, if mining's where you're at, and I can just see that here. Looks like you got a farming set. Wise Dragon, this. Okay, very interesting. So I believe right now you are currently getting into farming a little bit. I can see that through some of your stats. And then this as well. This kind of makes sense, yeah. You got some gold, nice. I definitely recommend, if we're going to be doing farming, then melon is the way to go for money and XP. Looks like you're getting into the pest stuff a lot, so I'm not too knowledgeable in that sense, but there's definitely some really good guides that I'll also link in the description. And then you also got some decent early game supplies here, and yeah. Your catacombs 20, so if we're going to be getting into dungeons a little bit more, I definitely recommend upgrading your magic power a little bit. We want to get that to at least 500 for where you're at, especially in floor 7 if we're doing like a full party. And it really depends on what you're doing, but it looks like you're leaning towards mage a little bit more, and I can see that with the armor set as well. We got the full Wise Dragon with the shadow goggles. And if we're going to be going mage, then I'll talk about a little bit about what a good mage setup will look like. But for right now, I definitely just recommend getting S plus on floor 6 as much as possible. And then also trying to get some of these further out, because you not just get more XP. Well, that really depends if you want to pour a lot of time into your boss collections. But you get more XP, and then you also get some special, you get the golden heads, which are really good in master mode. It looks like you only need one F6 run left to be able to complete that, and maybe I'll party you right after this and then help you out with that. Collection wise, definitely the Rift as well. That's something I kind of mentioned a little bit ago. But then besides that, looks like some of your collection is doing not too shabby. I definitely recommend that some things can be upped a lot more than they currently are. And I see you poured a lot of time into mining. Maybe we could do some little more cobblestone. Gravel is kind of difficult to do, but netherrack is really simple if you have the if you're able to access the nether, which I'm pretty sure that's combat 24, so I'm not sure if you're able to do that yet. But definitely oh wait, no, what am I saying? You're combat 39. So yeah, definitely doing that, that's a big thing. And then spending some time in the Crimson Isle, because I see that you really do not have a lot of stuff, and the dojo is really easy to do. Getting like at least C in everything, it does not take that much effort and can be accomplished by anyone. And then that's about 600 700 points per every single one of these, which can get your belt number up, and then also you get more XP from doing this. You don't really need to be good doing Kudra till you're like later game, because Slayers is like kind of a try-hardy thing. Your Slayers look pretty solid for early game, so I don't really think that's like the next task that we really need to accomplish. The fastest way to level up your profile right now is definitely getting into the Rift, I'd say. It's not just good for making money, but it's also really good for experience, and there's so much to do in the Rift. So I'm not really sure what's going on in your ender chest at the moment, but I definitely recommend getting rid of some stuff, like some dungeon gear, turning it into essence, and then you can sell it. Also, another thing is the complete objectives. It's really not that difficult to do, and it does not take a lot of time. Something that is super helpful and something that will definitely help make your gameplay a lot better is going to this little icon in your Skyblock menu tab, and then clicking on the Skyblock leveling, and then going over to this paper that says Skyblock guide. Basically what it does is it's like a complete session from starter to intermediate to skilled, expert, professional, and then master, which is end game. So it's basically like early game, mid game, end game, and then late game. And basically all of this is super duper helpful because it's basically like your guide along your play style, and it doesn't matter like where you're at in the game. It'll basically like kind of show you where you're at and what the next steps you need to do are if you ever get a little lost or you ever feel like, oh, I'm not quite sure what the next thing I need to do is. Also, something really neat is if you're ever like a little lost and you want to like know more about specifically what you need to get started on or what you need to do inside of that specific topic, is all you have to do. Let's just use the Rift for example. I'm not finished with the Rift either, but anyways, you click on it and then it brings this little tab out, right? And you can click on this tab and then it'll bring you this right here, will bring you to a separate page. But overall, this Skyblock guide is really useful, and if you check out the official website, then there's a lot of really notable things, and maybe there's something that's really easy that you could just check off the list and could help you progress to that next level. But the fastest way for your Skyblock account to level up right now, not just for XP but also for money, would be the Rift. Definitely going to the Rift is a very useful thing and something I highly recommend.